This is the story of a premonition.
In qualche modo simboleggia il crollo dell'impero austro-ungarico.
But it is also the story of a mystery.
Anche noi siamo seduti tanti misteri del subacqueo, non chiedevano se era loro, se era qualcosa, se abbiamo visto qualcosa.
Die Frage, die natürlich auch immer wieder auftaucht, ist nach irgendwelchen Goldschätzen oder irgendwelchen sonstigen Juwelen, wertvollen Dingen, Gegenständen, die an Bord des Schiffes transportiert worden sind.
Si parlava della cassa di bordo, della possibilità che trasportasse valori. Stando alla documentazione esistente, sicuramente un tesoro c'era.
It was a tragedy which saw the first civilian casualties of the First World War.
L'affondamento di cariche civili durante la Prima Guerra Mondiale era ritenuta ancora una cosa completamente fuori dalle logiche di guerra.
On the morning of August the 13th, 1914, Great Britain, under pressure from France, declared war on the Austro-Hungarian Empire, starting the First World War, the conflict that changed the face of the world and cost millions of lives. That day, a luxury liner ploughed through the water of the Adriatic, the Baron Gautsch. At 2:45 p.m, most of the passengers were finishing lunch or resting. The heat was oppressive. When suddenly, a tremendous blast came from the engine room. A massive explosion had ripped apart the ship's keel. The passengers on board were gripped by panic.
Poi abbiamo inteso sto scoppio fortissimo e il sussultato della nave si è saltata per aria proprio.
Barely 5 minutes later, the Empire's largest passenger ship was no more than a memory.
Gli ultimi minuti della nave devono essere stati terribili, concitati, drammatici. La nave, a quanto si sa, è affondata in un tempo compreso tra i 3 minuti e mezzo e i 4 minuti. Questo tempo è risibile.
Mio papà si è buttato dietro di me, che abbiamo nuotato un po' largo per evitare il vortice della nave. E dopo là, niente, appoggiati a questi rottami, abbiamo aspettato finché non si era visto da lontano arrivare il torpediniere.
For some days, there were rumours that off Pola, in the upper Adriatic, just 10 miles off the coast, a stretch of sea had been mined. Was this the cause of the disaster? According to official records, of the 240 passengers and 66 crew members, there were 177 victims. But unofficial records indicated that there were many more aboard. At the last minute, a large number of soldiers called up to the army and families fleeing the conflict had boarded without being registered.
Il naufragio del Baron Gautsch è una delle più grandi tragedie navali del Mediterraneo.
Dadurch, dass der Minentreffer mit Schiffs erfolgt ist, war dort auch die größte Sterblichkeit der Passagiere vorhanden, da diese Passagiere dort durch die explodierenden Kessel, durch das ausströmende Öl verbrannt sind und dadurch auch bis zur Unkenntlichkeit fast nicht mehr identifizierbar waren.
The court case that followed made headlines in newspapers throughout Europe. The case lasted 9 years without ever establishing who was responsible and leaving many questions unanswered. More than once, all traces of the wreck have been lost. Officially, it was found by deep-sea diver Libero Giurissini in 1958. But the story of the Baron Gautsch has fascinated many for almost a century. The 2 lower decks of the ship are largely unexplored. We don't know what they conceal. The Baron Gautsch is a story that fascinates everyone who hears about it. Was it sabotage or an attack that caused the disaster? Or was it simply a tragic, dramatic error? And what was the ship really transporting?